We all know the story. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, peace was achieved in Europe at the end of the First World War. That's what Veterans Day celebrates. That really struck home for me when I was studying in seminary in Italy, and I was able to visit the military cemetery in Nettuno, which is where men and women, American men and women, who died in the liberation of Europe during the Second World War are buried. What really struck me was that these soldiers were laid to rest overseas in a foreign land, which really symbolized everything that they were willing to give up and sacrifice out of love for their country and for people of Europe and the world. Today's saint, St. Martin of Tours, was also a soldier, but even though he served in the Roman legion, he did not die in battle, and in fact, he was the first saint who was not a martyr. The first saint, other than those in the apostolic age, like St. John, who didn't die for his faith. But in a lot of ways, the witness that St. Martin gave was every bit as profound as those who died in the Colosseum for what they believed. St. Martin left the Roman military, became a monk, and eventually a bishop. Even though he had that martial background, he became a profound witness and advocate for peace and nonviolence. And his service was in the everyday, in simple acts of charity and love for those he encountered. I think sometimes we can fall into the trap of thinking that we have to express our faith in these big, dramatic gestures. We might have visions of the martyrs, of those who made these heroic, one-time sacrifices, in a sense. But the reality is, like St. Martin, most of us are not going to be called to die a martyr's death. What we're called to do is to offer ourselves to make those sacrifices each and every day in the ordinary, sometimes boring interactions of our life. It's disingenuous on the one hand to think that we would be capable of making this sacrifice of a martyr when we're unable even to make those sacrifices when we meet a homeless person on the street or we get into an argument with somebody in the church parking lot. Really, we are called to follow that heroic example of today's Saint Martin of Tours. In the everyday, in the ordinary, in the boring parts of our life, to heroically sacrifice ourselves and our own interests in the name of charity and of love.